Hi again. This is going to be my last video for this morning, and then I'm going to come back and do numbers and just quick math, nothing super crazy, but just something, to keep the brain rolling. For right now, we're going to go over our sight words, and then we're going to talk about the sentences the sentence strips that I just have right behind me right here. And then you guys are free to do your stuff. I did set up Zoom, no clue how to use it, so I'm doing my very best. But stay tuned, I guess. I'm just trying to make sure that I can contact all of you. And genuinely, I'm looking for some student contact because I miss you guys and I'm talking to this video camera and I just wish that I could be interrupted by 23 little baby voices. Or loud voices when you guys are on the carpet being savages together. Anyways, these are the sight words. I'm going to say them one time and then you guys are going to say them after me. Let's see what our situation is looking like here. This is fine. Okay, so this is the word she. So I'll say it, she, you say it, she. Perfect. Have. For. Do. I. Is. He, are, me, with, my, want, the. And this word, they make sure that it's not the, it's the. So it's kind of important to stick your tongue out. You. And this one we say Y-O-U spells you. We can, am, to, like, and, see, a, go, play, was, and this one we say looks like was, but we say was. And the last word that I have for you is little. Okay, so those are our sight words. I'm realizing that in this video camera, it's not coming out the right way. It looks great on my end, but I'm thinking that it's gonna come out as you guys reading it the wrong way or backwards, kind of like in a mirror, and I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm not sure what to do if it is the case. I don't know. I'm trying my very best. I hope that it's okay. But just do your best too. That's all I ask you to do. You guys have those little note cards with your sight words on them. That can help too. What I would do is that you could lay them all out or pick like 5 of those little note cards and lay them flat and then have your kiddos pick one and then make a sentence out of it. So it would look like this. These are mine. And then I would pick one of them and I would say, oh, my word is of. And then my sentence could be, can I have a piece of cake? Does that make sense? And they could do 1 or 2 sentences, 3 or 4. It doesn't make a difference too much, but it does look like these are backwards, and I'm super sorry about that. I don't know how to fix that. I'm sure there is a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. But slowly but surely, I will figure it out, and that can be part of my teacher job today. The next thing that I want to do is I want to pull these sentences off of... Actually, I think they're okay where they are. I'm trying to see if you guys can tell that it's left to right, but I'm not able to tell. Anyways, my first sentence is, they play blank at recess. So then your kiddo would fill in the words, they play ball at recess, or they play together at recess. But there are 3 big things that sentences need to have to be good sentences, and that is an uppercase, a finger space, and period. Whether that be a period, exclamation point, or a question mark is totally fine, but we talk about having a dot at the end makes it a good sentence or a good, nice, strong end to your language. So the next one that I have is, can I have a piece of, and then it's a question. What I want kiddos to focus on in that sentence is having a change of your voice. So what it's going to sound like is, it's not going to sound like, can I have a piece of cake? It's going to say, can I have a piece of cake, in a question manner instead of just a reading it plain flat out manner. Just like if it's an exclamation point, you're not going to read it as, I'm excited to play. You're going to read it as, I'm excited to play. And your voice has to change so that people want to hear you read, and so that people believe that you know what you're reading. Because if you don't pay attention to those big marks in the sentences, people are going to think that you don't know what you're reading. And that's super sad, because you guys work really hard to do that. So the first sentence is, they play at recess. So I'm going to give your kindergartner, you, a turn to fill in that sentence. So go ahead. The sentence again is, they play at recess. Go ahead. Perfect. And it could sound like, they play on the slide at recess. They play with Remy at recess. They play jump rope at recess. Anything that you would like to make that sentence your own is perfect. The sight word in that sentence, there's two of them. The first word that we're working on is the word they. So it's they in green, and then the word play is after that. And we work on that word all the time just because it's always written on the board, because we are always playing. But there are two sight words in there, and then one sound out word, and then one word that we work to together, and we'll learn that word in first grade or potentially second grade. So again, that sentence is, they play at recess. The next sentence that I have has a ton of sight words in it, and it is the sentence, can I have a piece of, and then your job is to fill in that blank. So there's an uppercase in the word can, uppercase, finger spaces between all of the words, and then a question mark at the end, which has a period at the very bottom of that question mark. And so your job is going to be to fill in that sentence. Can I have a piece of? Perfect. Now I want you to use your reader voice, and I want you to say the sentence out loud so that your grown-up can hear it, and so that they feel like you know what you're talking about. Because if you read or if you talk, and you talk like this, people aren't going to believe that you really know in your brain what you are trying to say. So your job is to make sure that you speak from your chest, stand up nice and straight, or sit up nice and straight with your shoulders, and do a good job saying your sentence out loud so that people want to listen to you talk or read. So again, the sentence is, can I have a piece of? You try. Awesome. And now what we're going to do is we're going to squeak the first sentence, and you're going to change it. So it's going to say, they play. If you said they play ball at recess, your job is to find a different word in the middle, not the same, different. So if you said they play ball at recess, can you say that same sentence again? Can you say they play ball at recess? No, you need to change that word to make it a different sentence. So my sentence would be, they play with chalk at recess, or they play freeze tag at recess. So change that sentence, and we're going to squeak it this time. And this is silly. So it's going to say, they play chalk at recess. And you squeak it and make your voice really small and your body really small to kind of wake up your brain a little bit. So you try it. I'm going to read one more time. They play at recess. Awesome. Okay, the next sentence is, can I have a piece of paper? That's a good one. And this time, you're going to use it in a really deep, silly voice. Ready? So I'm going to say paper. You say whatever sentence you want, question that you want, that is different, a new question to ask. So if your question was, can I have a piece of cake? You need to change that last word. Where is it? There it is. You need to change that last word in the sentence to make it different in a scary, weird voice. Are you ready? Okay. Can I have a piece of cardboard? Or a piece of that big box fort? That's crazy. Anyways, those are our 2 sentences that I want you to think of. The sight words in all of those sentences are they, play, can, I, have, and of. You have 6 sight words just in that sentence or in those sentences. That is huge practice. If you could just master those 6 sight words while we were at home, you would be doing a very great brain job and you would feel so good about your reading when you came back to school. So really think about that. It's only 6. That's no big deal. That's how old some of you guys are. No big deal. You totally got it and you're going to rock it. It's going to be super easy for you guys. The next thing that I want to do is go over our rules and then you guys can get out of here. Our rules were rule number 1. Rule number 1, listen while your teacher is talking. Listen while your teacher is talking. And this goes with your grown-ups. Please listen while they talk to you and give them respect. If you're listening like this, do you think they're going to want to talk to you? No. You can listen and you can just look at them and listen with your eyes, ears, and brain, but you do not need to be spicy. Right? You can listen without giving attitude, even though we do have a very spicy class. So try your best, but I understand that things do get grumpy. Rule number 2. Rule number 2. Raise your hand to speak or stand. Raise your hand to speak or stand. Now this one might not be as you might not be able to use this at your house because your grown-ups might not want you to raise your hand to speak or stand. Granted, when your grown-up is working at their house, in their home, where they have their computer or they're doing their work that they have to do from home, just like you have to do your job at home, you need to make sure to give them space and not interrupt. If you notice that they are doing something that's very important and they've asked you to give them space, please give them space and wait for them to be ready to speak and help you. Does that make sense? Because if you interrupt and you say, Mom, 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 grown up, they're not going to want to help you. You might even put them in the yellow zone and then in the red zone if you do not take your time and be patient for them to be able to help you because they are working super, super hard at their house to do their job just like you are. Rule number 3. Rule number 3. Follow directions quickly. Follow directions quickly. You can do that at your house. You can follow directions quickly. That would help your grown-up out a ton. And how many times should they have to ask you? How many times should they have to ask you? 1 time. 1. And they shouldn't have to ask you loud. They shouldn't have to get spicy. You can totally do it by yourself, working hard, following directions quickly. Rule number 4. Rule number 4. Keep your hands and your feet to yourself. Keep your hands and your feet to yourself. That's a big one. I feel like you've probably been told that lots of times in the last 3 days, but how many times should they have to tell you? One time. You can totally do it. Keep your body to yourself, especially when there's sickness going around and they've got the glitter flu, keep your hands to yourself so that you don't spread those germs out to everyone. Oh my gosh. Rule number 5. Rule number 5. Be safe, be kind, be respectful, and be honest. Be safe, be kind, be respectful, and be honest. And last but not least, we will work hard. Boys and girls, you can totally do it. Thank you for sitting with me for almost a whole 15 minutes. You killed it. I'll see you guys later when we do math. Hoping to get to talk to you guys on FaceTime or Zoom super soon. I love you so much. Keep practicing those 6 sight words. 6. You can do it. I believe in you. Say, we can do it. We can do it.